What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. For those of you that don't know, my name is Antonio Matuire and I have a BMW 340i. So today I wanted to install some GTS taillights. I'm sure you guys all saw the thumbnail. So I did pick up these GTS style taillights online. I will leave a link down in the description on where you can pick some up yourself if you would like to. But just like that, let's get right into the install. So first of all, they look really good in my opinion. This is the one for the left side of the vehicle, and this is going to be the one for the right side. I really enjoy the definition in these taillights. Everything is very detailed and looks really good. So I'm super excited to be installing them on the BMW right over here. So as you can see, my BMW came stock with the LCI taillights. I do know some people's BMWs come with the pre-LCI, but with these taillights in particular, it doesn't matter if you have pre-LCI or LCI, you can still install them to your F30. So with that, let's go ahead and start getting these old taillights out. So obviously the first thing you're gonna wanna do is pop your trunk. So when you pop your trunk, you're gonna wanna take off this cover right here. So in order to do that, there are some fasteners in place. So there's these screws right here, down here. So you're just gonna wanna undo all of those. And I'm pretty sure there's one in here, and then there's one in here as well. And it looks like they're all just Phillip head screws. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those out first and then move on to the next step. One thing I wanted to point out, these aren't just regular screws. So you're gonna wanna unscrew them. And then once you've unscrewed them all the way, you're gonna actually pull them and they come out just like that. And they're just little plastic fasteners. Alright, so I got all the screws removed. A couple of them did give me some trouble. So if any of them do give you trouble, just use some pliers to kind of pull them out. Unfortunately, one of mine was stripped right here. So at that point, I just had to rip it out and it unfortunately broke. It's right here. But it's just a fastener for this cover, so it's not a huge deal. But next, to get this emergency release undone, you'll see that there's a hole right here. You have to slide it forward and that'll allow it to hang down. Then it's really easy. You're just gonna apply pressure right here, and then it's hard to do it one hand. If you apply pressure right here, this little cable, you're just gonna feed it through, and then you'll be able to take off this this handle. So next, you're gonna want to get this off. It was very simple. As you can see, there's two clips, one right there, and then one right there as well. And then you literally just apply pressure, and then it'll come undone like so. So you're going to do that to both sides. Once you get both plastic handles removed, you should be able to go ahead and have room to wiggle this cover off. So as you can see, once you get the cover off, we're going to start with this little portion right here on this tail light on the left side. You will need to loosen this 8mm bolt. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. So at this point, you're going to remove this, and it is held in by some clips. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it with two hands, but once you loosen this, I don't know if you guys can see that, but that mechanism kind of holds it in place. But once you loosen it, it allows it to come out freely. You're going to want to make sure to unplug the tail light before you get it out. So just like that. There is the old tail light. Alright, so I got this one fitted. It was kind of a pain, not gonna lie, to get fitted because there's certain clips in here that you have to get perfect. So what I did was kind of set it in, pulled it towards me, and then pushed it, because there's a clip. So imagine my thumb's the clip. There's a clip that goes like that, and so you kind of want to bring it back this way and then clip it under in order for it to fasten. So like I said, you're going to push down on the tail light, pull towards yourself, and then push down and forward, if that makes sense, and then it should clip into place. But I did have trouble with that, so I wanted to make sure I was thorough with that. Also, on the ones I ordered, depending on where you order them from, I ordered mine from China, so this came with some 3M tape on the back. So just make sure you fit the tail light before you place this, because I also had the issue where I placed this but it was too far back, so it wouldn't allow the tail light to come all the way in. So just make sure when you are fitting it, you know, it's just dangling, fit it through, and then peel the double-sided tape to stick it once it's already set. So after you get it installed, obviously tighten back up this 8mm bolt. Then obviously you're going to plug it in. So for these ones, it's pretty self-explanatory just because the LCI hookup is bigger than the pre-LCI. So if you do have pre-LCI taillights, you're gonna plug in this one. But if you have LCI taillights, you're gonna plug in this one just because it's bigger and it matches up. So once you fasten everything in and get it plugged in, we're done with this portion of the taillight, and now we will start working on this one. But for this one, you are going to need to remove this little plastic piece right here. So in order to do that, once again, there's a little fastener right here. Just loosen it to the left and it'll come loose a little bit, and then you're gonna have to pluck it out. You probably do it with your fingers. Yep. So just pull it out just like that, like the other ones previously, and then you should be able to just take this off like so. And obviously I do have a lot going on in here. I got some leaves, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up, and then we will move on to the next step. All right, so for this outer one, these are going to be 10mm bolts on this. So as compared to the 8mm bolt up there, down here it's going to be 10mm. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen these up. So this next portion I am going to be doing with two hands. So pretty much for this tail light, I would say it's a lot easier to get out this one than the ones up top, but you're pretty much just going to pull back on it. So over here there's like a rubber grommet, and then there's something else that's pushed into that. So what you're gonna wanna do is just pretty much pull straight back. So as you guys can see, this is what I was talking about. So there's the little grommet, and here's the little joint. So that's pretty much all it is just pulling it straight back, and it'll come out. So once you get this tail light out, go ahead and unclip the light. And then once again, I'm gonna clean up this area and we'll move on to the next step. All right, and as for the new tail light, just a couple of things I wanted to point out to you guys. So you're gonna have this long wire. I'm pretty sure this is only for the pre-LCI, so don't worry about that if you do have the LCI. What I'm gonna end up doing is probably just like tucking that down in here. But as far as the connections, these ones are the exact same size, so you just really have to pay attention. Literally just read. This one, it will say fit for 2016 and up, and then this other one says fit for 2013, 2015. So in other words, the one for 2013 to 2015 is for pre-LCI, and the one that is 2016 and up is for LCI. So in my case, I'm gonna be hooking it up to the one that says 2016 and up. I'm gonna plug it in, feed that little joint through this grommet, and then get everything screwed back in. Also, this one has the same exact thing I was talking about with the one above right here. So you see how it's just kind of dangling, and you get to place where you want it. I'll probably end up just placing it right below this one. So I'll peel the tape back, and then probably like try to stick it somewhere right in here, just so that way it's out of the way. I mean, because honestly, there's really nowhere else that I can stick it without it getting in the way. So I'll try to stick it right here, and then fit it. All right, so I went ahead and placed it. Looks like everything fits. Everything's pretty flush. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these 10mm bolts back on, tighten everything up, and then I'll check the fitment. All right, so everything's placed back where it needs to be. I checked the fitment, and as you can see, it looks really, really good. For this to be like an aftermarket part, I would say it's definitely like 10 out of 10 fitment. If anything, maybe like 9 out of 10, but it looks really, really good. So let me go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. Obviously, you're gonna repeat the same steps, but just, you know, on the opposite side of the vehicle. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that side, and then we will go ahead, get everything back together, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Another thing I wanted to mention before I put everything back together. So this right here, like I said, this is for the pre-LCI, I'm pretty sure, but I don't know if just leaving it like that, if it's gonna emit any power or heat. That might be dumb of me to say, you know, I'm not an electrician, you know, I don't know too much about this kind of stuff, to be honest, but I'm just gonna go ahead and put some electrical tape on this just to be sure. You know, I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tape this off, so that way if it does emit any heat or anything like that, I don't run into any problems down the road. So I just finished putting everything back together, so let's see what they look like. guys just saw how they look. I think they look really, really good. You know, I've been waiting about a week. I waited to receive them, which was pretty good considering, like I said, they came from China. But probably gonna stick with these GTS style taillights for a really long time, and I don't think there's any use for me to keep these LCI ones. So if there's anyone out there with pre-LCI that would like LCI, hit me up, or even if you just need an extra set of LCI, let me know. I'm really excited to see how they look at night. I know I showed you guys how they look right now in the garage, but I'm sure I'll be making plenty more videos down the road, along with Instagram posts of how they look at night. So if you're not already following me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Matwire. But just like that wraps up today's video. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you liked this video or helped you out in any way, please give it a thumbs up. It would help me out tremendously. And just like that, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.